So the question is, how does the cleaning or working on the chakras affect at the physical level? Correct. So let's understand. For example, let's define what is chakra. From there we can get into the real understanding how it affects physically. Correct. So let's understand how this whole thing works. So chakra is an exchange point or an intersection point between the subtle body and the causal body. Right? So if we look at these three bodies, so let me share a whiteboard. So these three bodies. So the first, the outer, you can call it as physical body. Correct? And the inner next circle is the subtle body. This is the subtle body. And then is the causal body. Okay, now if you look at it these are like three parallel circles. How can there be an intersection point between these parallel circles? Mathematically speaking, right? Can you have an intersection point between, what do you call them, concentric circles? No. Can you have an intersection point between them? No, correct? So in between, this is, you can call it, within the causal body is an embodied soul. This is an embodied soul, right? And this embodied soul is the real one. So always the essence of the soul reflects onto the causal body, reflects onto the subtle body, reflects onto the physical body. It's only a reflection. So this reflection point, you can call it as an intersection, truly speaking. Okay.
I'm not sure I understand.
Suppose you are looking at a mirror. So when you're standing in front of the mirror, it reflects inside the mirror, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on, the reflection appears as if the distance you are away from the mirror, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So there is, you can call it, okay, my image is getting reflected here from here, correct? If you think of this like a mirror, your image is getting reflected at some point, you can call that as an intersection point. So the causal reflection appears on the subtle, and subtle reflection appears on the physical. So all the communication between these three are only through reflection. It's a vibratory state is reflected into another. It's like think of like a resonance. So between the two forks, even though they are not connected, the resonance is transmitted from one fork to another fork, right? We have done that as a science experiment when we were kids, right? So that is, a lack of better word, we are calling it as reflection.
So it's not really a reflection, it's more of a resonance or a vibratory state.
In many ways, you can look at it.
Reflection means it would be opposite. It wouldn't be an intersection.
Yeah. So because the things, regardless of, suppose that resonance only happens if they are in tune. Otherwise, it doesn't happen.
Right, I understand.
Okay, so that's why I like to call this as a reflection. This state is reflected here. Simply put it. Don't think in a very physical terms here. All manifestation, that's how it takes place. So reflection, don't think as like a mirror reflection. This state is reflected here. This state is reflected here. And the vibratory state, according to its grossness, it changes. Right?
Yeah. But Shrikant, even what you're calling the circles are not actually circles, right? I mean, where is the soul? The soul is in maybe the heart region.
No.
The causal body that's a causal body, but the subtle body is really everywhere in the body.
Yeah. So
it's not really concentric circles the way I see it.
Okay. I mean, this is where the confusion is. Okay. Suppose this is an nth dimensional picture. So, in the drawing, right? Suppose there is a cylinder like this. If I take the top view of the cylinder, it looks like a circle. But is this a circle?
No.
Okay. Suppose if I take the side view of it, it looks like a square. So, is the square or circle representing a cylinder?
No.
So, I'm taking one dimensional view and putting it like this. But think of it like an nth dimensional view. So, to get the whole picture, I have to have an nth dimensional picture, which we cannot draw anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So, that's why it is kind of drawn like this.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's really just an artistic representation of the idea of these bodies.
Correct. I mean, in fact, it should be drawn other way. The causal body is encompassing the physical body. It's in a true picture, it'll reverse like this. So that's why, to avoid all this confusion, to understand a concept, right? So here it is not a representation. We are trying to put this into a pictorial view to understand the concept. This is not a true representation of it. Just like this circle is not a true representation of a cylinder. Okay. So that's why I'm saying, the consciousness is all pervading. Soul is all pervading. But when you talk about an embodied soul, we try to kind of limit its essence within the physical body. But if I have to draw the subtle body and the physical body, they all superimpose. It could be just one circle. All of these bodies are inside. So then the representation becomes very difficult to understand it. That's why we are drawing it like this.
Okay.
So the energy exchange between the bodies, between the subtle and the causal, this represents a chakra. That's where we are getting it right now. This is a chakra. So each intersection point sort of is drawn on a physical anatomy, but they're not exactly on the physical. See, like we are drawing our points. One, this is second point and third point and fourth point and fifth point, like this. Okay. But it's not really, they're not on the physical, but they're on the subtle. The subtle, you can say it is all subtle, is all physical body is subtle body. Okay. I mean, the area or the expansion of the subtle body is equal to the physical body. So that's why Babaji said the heart is from head to toe. This entire thing encompasses heart according to Babaji's definition. Okay, so that means heart in a true sense is our entire system. But in a physical anatomy, our heart is somewhere here. Correct? So that's why, these definitions kind of change all the time depending on from what context we are talking about.
So in cleaning, we're always cleaning the chakras.
When we are cleaning our entire heart region. This is my heart, the entire physical existence, the entire physical body is heart, and we are cleaning the whole thing. We are not cleaning any particular chakra. We're cleaning everything.
Okay, I thought we were cleaning the subtle bodies and the chakras.
No, I mean, what is the instructions for the cleaning? All the impressions are leaving from the back, from my entire system.
Yeah.
We don't say from point 1 it is leaving, from point 2 it is leaving, right?
No.
Yeah, so we are not cleaning a chakra, we are cleaning the entire system. That entire system is the
entire
heart.
system, the system of chakras, or the physical body, the subtle body, all of it.
Everything.
Okay.
So when we are cleaning everything. Right?
Okay.
It's like you put a ball in a dishwasher, it cleans all the sides. The same thing here, it cleans everything. So it's all reflection. So if I affect the vibratory state here, it reflects here, it reflects on the physical system. It must affect the physical, it should rejuvenate the physical system as well. Because all your feelings, knowing is only in this area, between the physical and the subtle body. This is where your knowing is happening. And this is where in the inner state, once we become sensitive about the inner state, we will feel this also. But even after we become sensitive, we are still feeling the reflection of this over here in this area, between the subtle and the physical. Okay. All feeling comes to the mind level. Mind is in the subtle body. Right? So mind is our instrument. Mind is our inner bridge between the physical and the subtle and the causal. So it's an inner bridge for that. So mind is the one which is changing its different states. So it becomes that which it is put on. If you are thinking about physical, then you are feeling your physical body. If there is a pain, you are feeling the pain. But if you again, if you want to get very picky on the nitty-gritties of these, then you can say the pain is transmitted through the nervous system into the brain and all that stuff you can talk about. But we'll keep it very generic. If you get into very specifics, then it becomes a problem. Then from any specific is from a particular view, but in one context only. It cannot explain holistic approach. We cannot take a holistic approach if we want to if we dissect it too much. So we are talking in a very general terms here. Correct. So all feelings are through the mind. Mind comes in contact with the consciousness, it becomes aware of the things. So that is why if I say this, I'm looking at my computer. This, my computer, right? Then it's an object which became aware in the space of consciousness, and mind is in the interpreter. So like that, when at a physical level also physiological changes also will happen. See, most of this pranic healings, what we talk about, they're only working at the subtle level. But suppose if any disease is already manifested. So the seeds of the disease, if this is my subtle body, the seeds of the disease are already in the causal body. Once the reflection starts here to the reflection to the here, the disease is already manifested. Okay. Or anything is already manifested when it comes to this level. But by cleaning, what we and by rejuvenating, by transmission, what we are doing is at some certain level, because of this, the life force is always pure. When the life force enters into a diseased place, it has to rejuvenate it and it has to affect it at some level. But if this manifestation is too strong, then through this prana we are not cleaning it. I mean, we are not curing it, but we are giving enough support to the body to face it. That's a difference. So the cleaning, how it impacts is, if there is a deeper cleaning taking place when you are attending one-on-one sittings, any seeds which are not manifested, we are cleaning them. These seeds are cleaned. If the seeds are cleaned, there is no manifestation of it. See how the cleaning is affecting the physical bodies even before the manifestation happens. If a deep cleaning takes place, that manifestation is stopped. So sometimes this manifestation somehow it's even began at your birth, and it will show up after year 50 years, 60 years, 70 years at a physical level. Those are only can be managed, they cannot be cleaned. But anything which is not manifested will be cleaned definitely in our system, and we don't know that it is being cleaned. That's another thing. That's why we cannot quantify it. Uh, the spiritual work, because neither the master nor the trainer nor the practitioner, nobody knows what is being cleaned here, but it's only cleaning takes place definitely by understanding the process from the science of the process. So even sometimes when you're so along the spinal cord you have this fifth point. The fifth point is closer to the throat chakra. In Sanskrit it is called Vishuddhi chakra. But throat chakra has a peculiar color and everything. If you stimulate the throat chakra, clean the throat chakra, thyroid problems can be cleaned, can be slowed down. If there is a thyroid already, you can sort of remove the effects of it by cleaning the throat chakra. And similarly, when this throat chakra is enabled, very much clean and it's charged fully, then your communication, when you are talking to the people, they get mesmerized by you. It doesn't matter what topic you're talking about. It doesn't matter whether the topic makes sense or not. You get mesmerized by it. For the people, when the throat chakra is enabled. Right? So like that. So there are physical effects, but in our heartfulness, these are called siddhis. The powers are removed even in the cleaning process. That's why we don't have any accumulation of any powers because of the cleaning of these chakras. Even the power is removed, gained by the chakra. Because our teachers don't want to get attached to the power of the chakra. So that's how the heartfulness system cleaning works. It cleans everything. It also cleans what is called the achievements of the chakra. What is called in Sanskrit siddhi. Siddhi is equivalent to a power. Right? So when we cross the heart region, means the five points of the heart region, we gain control over all the five elements, like how in that movie Thanos does, right? We can do it actually, if those powers are given to us, but they are cleaned. They're not given to us, so we cannot exercise those powers, even though we have the capacity. So the lot can be affected. That's why all effect is, all this cleaning, everything is through the will of the mind. And that's what we apply when we are cleaning. Any suggestion, any supposition. So all spirituality works through the supposition. The subtler the supposition, the more effective it becomes. The stronger the supposition, less effective it becomes. So each chakra is associated with certain, what should I say, it is not exactly a nervous system, the transmission, the channels of the prana, the life force, all those channels will be cleaned. So it does affect at a physical level also. Even if I am going through a disease, I can manage it. I don't get into the effects. I don't get bogged down by the effects of the disease. I can still rejuvenate myself and carry on my day-to-day work. All right. So I'll stop here. For any comments, hope. Every time I get a feeling I might be confusing you guys by using these terms, but I don't know how else I can explain it better.